ask you who your greatest teachers were. Like, I go through my high school teachers and I sort of draw blanks. I had some good teachers in high school, but I have never had a teacher as good as Andrew McBee. And I'm not just saying that to fit the theme of the evening. He taught me so much about how to teach. I was, my second year of teaching, still incredibly clueless. I was given the course College Writing, the course that Andrew created, and had no idea what to do. Fortunately, I was also given a room across the hall from Andrew, so I could constantly go in there and nag him about it. And I must have been in there 3 times a day asking about things, because I was really learning on the job, because unfortunately, most schools don't have college writing, including mine. So I was learning what rhetorical appeals and comma splices and things were on the job before I was teaching them. So we were in that class. That's a little confession that I didn't know what I was doing, and I hope you learned a lot. And so he's my greatest teacher there. And then I didn't have a course in common with him for a few years until they decided to throw the IB Theater senior year my way. And so, of course, I was right back in his room asking him about TPPs and PPPs and IPPs and OPPs and all the other Ps that go along with that course. That's an inside joke. Those who've taken the course, all the assessments have 3 Ps in the name. It's true. They're changing it, thank goodness. So I was in there again, asking about all of those, racking his brain. And basically, when I teach, Andrew's voice is in my head, saying, well, that's a little bit much, or I don't know if you should really do that, you know. So think about that again. His is the voice that, and probably every teacher has someone like this. Andrew's is the voice in my head when I'm teaching and thinking about the decisions that I have to make on a daily basis as a teacher. And it's a good thing it is, because I wouldn't want it any other way to have his voice in there when I'm up in front of the class. He's also taught me a lot about theater, and he wouldn't believe this, because he thinks that somehow because I have whatever, this degree from an Ivy League college, blah, 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 theater, that he didn't study theater in college, that I know so much more about theater than him, but he's completely wrong about that, and always has been. He called himself, if you can believe this, one time to me he actually said that he was a charlatan. And I said, well good, you're the perfect theater teacher then, because theater's just about being a big phony and pretending you're doing something, so you're the perfect teacher. But what what led him to do with this course, this IB Theater course, is to be creative, to play, to explore. He would do a workshop on puppetry and be like, I'm doing that. He had no preconception of what belonged and didn't belong in the curriculum. He was like, puppetry, that's amazing, I'm teaching it next year. Commedia, I'm doing that, I love that. Neutral math, let's do that. You know, he would just find these things, discover them, and bring them into his class. He also taught me about theater quite a bit when I got to be in one of the productions. In 2009, due to an unfortunate last-minute injury, I had to fill in the role of Sir Toby Belch in Twelfth Night. And so Andrew grilled me on my lines. So what Isaiah was describing earlier, that was my experience too, at the tender age of 29 or so, to be in Mr. McBee's room, just like you, getting run over the coals about my lines. And the same thing, he'd be like, no, that wasn't good enough, do it again. But I said, do it again. Start at the beginning again. He had no mercy. And even in one of the final dress, well, there was only one rehearsal I did the thing for. So the only dress rehearsal that I did rehearse the role, he was calling out the cast by name, like, some of you just aren't giving it to me. I'm not seeing enough from Malvolio. I'm not seeing enough from Sir Andrew. I'm not seeing enough. And then he went, Sir Toby Belch. And I'm like, he's giving me notes. He's freaking giving me notes. But I deserved it because he was calling me out. And I'm like, man, I just got the part yesterday. But he was unscrupulous. And it was great because that's what I needed. And that's what every student at City in theater needs sometimes. Like, I'll pat him on the back and tell him how great they are. And Mr. McBee will give him a kick in the ass and tell them to learn their lines. And but he loves them so deeply that they don't mind it at all. The last thing that Andrew taught me about more than anything else, though, that I could ever imagine, whether writing, theater, teaching, is Andrew McBee has taught me and taught probably all of the people in this room a lot about how to live. I've learned more about how to live and walk this earth at peace with myself from this man than any other person I know. And that's why, like, when I had a very brief wedding ceremony, we didn't have a lot of things going on. It was pretty quick and to the point a couple years ago when I got married. But there's one person I wanted to stand up and speak at that ceremony was Andrew McBee, because I knew I couldn't imagine starting that chapter in my life without the man who taught me so much about how to live. And so I want to thank you for that, and I want to say that you may leave our school, but this is your family, and you will never leave your family. And I love you very much, and thank you for...
Get it together. You get that shit together.
Of course, no thing that I do would ever be complete without a song.
Oh my gosh.
So, I wrote this song, music and lyrics. If it sounds like another song, that's purely coincidental. There's a part you can help me with on this song. It's the chorus, which is just going to be to go, ask McBee, ask McBee, ask McBee, ask McBee, quiet words of wisdom from McBee. Go figure it out. You need the words up there? Good, okay. So, and thank you again to Mr. Alston and Mr. Burke Sampson for jumping in here and playing, Caleb Stein, playing with me on this. So, here we go. Just a second-year teacher, college writing was assigned to me. How am I supposed to teach this? Ask McBee. And after a gap in generations, he turned around and said to me, why don't you direct the next play? Said McBee. Ask McBee, ask McBee, ask McBee, oh, ask McBee. Quiet words of wisdom from McBee. And when any kid around this castle needs to up their writing pedigree, he will have the answer, ask McBee. Sometimes he gets fed up and says, if you don't like your goddamn line, I am going to rip your throat out with my bare hands. And you know I'll do it, because you all think I'm a little crazy. If you need help with your rhymes, ask McBee. Ask McBee. Ask McBee. Ask McBee. Oh, ask McBee. Quiet source of wisdom, ask McBee. Burke Sampson on top. Next year, our school will lose some poetry, slanted rhymes of wisdom from McBee. But if I've learned anything from him, it's that there is wonder and beauty in every day you're living like McBee. Ask McBee, ask McBee, ask McBee, oh, ask McBee. Quiet words of wisdom, ask McBee. One more time. Ask McBee, ask McBee, ask McBee, oh, ask McBee. one vocal performance major in the drama department. I think you know who that is. But thank you for indulging me.